Well, hello guys, and welcome back to another Star vs. the Forces of Evil review. In this episode, we'll be taking a look at the holiday specials. Stump Day and Holiday Spellcial? It's spell and special combined. It's kind of dumb. Now, I know this took me forever to get to. This happened, on the 2nd? And I'm recording this on the 8th, same day it goes up. Yeah, sorry about that. I kind of forgot this happened until Wednesday, and then I had to deal with finals for the rest of the week. But I'm getting to it eventually. And this is, okay, one of these episodes are, pretty good, I guess. The other one is great, but it could have been amazing. And I'll talk about it, but it's also kind of hard to talk about, and we'll get to it. But let's just start off. So, Stump Day. It starts off, everyone in Muni is celebrating Stump Day, which is basically their Christmas, right? It's the same comparison. And Star is in love with Stump Day, right? It's our favorite holiday. Oh, everything's going so great. And we hear the story about Stump Day, how people came to Muni and they almost died in the winter from angering each other. So they huddle around the stump, carve their initials into it, and everything went well, right? Founding of Muni. Wasn't that My Little Pony's Christmas special? Where they were all bickering and angry, and it caused the Wendigos, and then they made up, and everything was okay. Isn't this like the exact same thing? Just give or take a stump? Whatever. So, that night, we find out Marco comes get Star, and we find out it's her birthday. Okay, this is one of my pet peeves. I think it's so fucking lazy when you put a character's birthday on Christmas. Or any holiday for that matter. It's so... Stop doing it. I get the intention, but it's just so annoying. Stop it. Because, there are people who really have birthdays on Christmas and who actually, have, I'm going to use quote-unquote struggles, right? Don't stop doing this. It's so freaking annoying. As someone who shares a birthday with that celebrates the greatest country on this planet, I get it. I don't get it as much as the Christmas people, but... It's annoying, okay? Stop doing it. But Star's really paranoid because throughout this entire explanation of Stump Day, there's all these undertones that if you anger the stump, he will kill us all. It's kind of like a more... it's not like a more demented Christmas, that's Futurama. But there's this more... The violent undertones are brought to the surface, right? Because as the friends explain, Stump Day is just a day in which you have to treat kids, right? It forces kids to be good by threatening them. It's like Christmas, but more violent. And that's what I like about this episode. Because Star believes in the stump. Marco, Jana, and Starfan don't know what to think. And Kelly, Tom, and Ponyhead don't believe in the stump. And... I think that's interesting, but I'm kind of struggling to talk about this because whenever I do these videos, I always assume the people watching it are maybe a few years younger than me, maybe a few years older than me, right? I never consider that there are actual kids watching a video about a kid's show. I don't know why, but I don't, and I don't want to be that guy, but what I like about this episode is that they're struggling. And I kind of wish Star was wrong. Okay, but we'll get to that. So, they start getting mad at one another. Star's blaming it on the stump. I think she's completely wrong. But Marco throws some serious shade at Tom for forgetting Star's birthday. And they get in a fight. And I thought Tom was going to burn the stump. It still burns, but differently. But they all start getting mad at everyone, right? Everyone's fighting. Star tries to freeze them to death to get them to work together. And it kind of does, because Jana burns the stump. And they all kind of huddle around the fire. And I wish that was where the episode ended. Because I like the idea of the stump. Because this is a world of magic, right? So the obvious thing is that the stump is real, right? Everyone's saying, Star's saying it's real. Everyone else is saying it isn't. Star has to be right. That's the obvious twist. So they should have gone with the not obvious twist, or well, the less obvious, and not made the stump real. And this is how the episode ends, with them all huddling around the fire of the burning stump, realizing that, oh, it's not real. Star realizing the error of her ways, or whatever the hell. And them still being able to get along, celebrate Stump Day, and then celebrate Star's birthday. But instead, nope, the stump is real. It tries to kill them all. Futurama-esque. And the only reason they survive... Actually, it kind of reminds me of American Dad. Okay, the only reason they survive is because it turns past midnight. And Moon and River show up at one point, and they realize the stump is real. And they're like, oh, next week we have to make sure our Stump Day celebration is extra special so it won't kill us. And they're able to celebrate Star's birthday party, right? Happy ending. And, even with that, even with all my complaints I just gave, well, and nitpicks, I still think this is a really great episode. The jokes are on point. Marco throwing shade at Tom is great. It's so well done. There's a lot of just funny jokes. The fighting is all really funny. And yeah, I really like it. I just wish they hadn't have made it real. Because if they hadn't have made it real, that would have taken it from being just a great episode to maybe one of the best episodes in the show, honestly. Because it's the true meaning of Christmas is being with your friends and being who you are. Which is kind of what the ending is saying anyways. I think they could have gotten away with it. I probably was that guy anyways, even though I was trying to avoid it. Okay, so our next episode, Holiday Spellcial. It's good. And it's Spider with a Top Hat. I really like Spider with a Top Hat. He's really likable, right? He's one of the most likable characters in this show. So it's good to see him again. And so he's throwing a Stump Day party, and Seeing Eye, the new guy, which I never thought Seeing Eye as a person, right? Where he's literally just a floating eye. He's like an eye. He can move around. It's interesting. And so Spider's trying to throw this party, get everyone on board, right? He's making sure everything's going great. But everyone's kind of worried about Seeing Eye, right? They don't entirely trust him. And they kind of want to uninvite him, but it's like, no, he's Star, even though he is an Eclipse spell, he's part of our family now, right? We can't just uninvite him. Spider with the Top Hat is still the glue that holds everyone together. And he's likable, and I can see, right, it makes sense. I can see how. So they throw the party, everything's going good, and Spider with the Top Hat's trying to introduce Seeing Eye to everyone, but instead he's just tearing them apart because he keeps showing like bad things that they're doing, like makeup blast, licked all the cupcakes, pig drink all the punch. This really buff Warnicorn is actually wearing a suit, which his reaction is hilarious. This episode's not as funny as the previous one, but there still are some good jokes. So Seeing Eye is kind of tearing everyone apart. And the party's not exactly going well. I do like the idea that how Seeing Eye communicates. We've seen this in like Mirror Gym before, where it communicates by showing like previous images. And I kind of wish they played with it a little more. But Spider with the Top Hat gets angry. And he says like, oh, everyone sucks, right? It's the way they set it up, him saying it is weird, but I see why they did it. But eventually Spider with a Top Hat's able to get everyone to make up because they're all fighting. And then Seeing Eye ruins everything by using the clip about how they stink, right? And everyone gets mad, storms off. And Seeing Eye's tearing everyone apart. It's an obvious plot. But then he brings everyone together because it's good to tell the truth, but the truth can also be good, right? So he shows a lot of good things that happened during the party and all the fun they had. And it brings everyone together. Yay! And they all get around the stump, they laugh, right? And they're having a good time at the end because they can accept Seeing Eye because he tells the truth, but the truth doesn't have to be bad. It's actually not the worst moral ever, but the episode is just okay. It's just good. Not Seeing Eye, Spider with a Top Hat really pulls through. He makes this episode because he's just so likable. I give a lot of credit to the voice actor, who just does a great job at just with a likable voice. And yeah, it's good. I'd say this special, it's a fine Christmas special, and it has a lot of potential, and in some ways it squanders it, but it also does some good things, and it's really enjoyable. And it is nice to see all these characters interacting, right? Do I have my problems? Yes. But at the end of the day, I still enjoyed it. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. Until next time, peace.